Every week, there's a new AI tool that's supposedly going to automate your business. It's gotten to the point where it's getting hard to keep up. Now, I've built automations for dozens of businesses over the last few years, so I've tried pretty much all the tools out there. And the truth is, most of them aren't worth the hype. But there are a few of them that I end up using on every single automation for clients. So these are the ones I want to show you today, covering what they're best at, how we actually use them in client builds, so you can copy the whole setup. Let's get into it. All right, so before I touch a single automation tool, what I really want to talk about is the one thing that makes them all work. And it's probably the most boring on the list, and it is the CRM. And honestly, this is the reason why people skip it. A CRM is your data store. You see, the whole job of an automation is to grab information and do something with it. If that information is spread across different spreadsheets in 1,000 different locations, there's no way to build an automation that will work efficiently. Not to mention, building it like that will also lead to more errors and more mistakes that you'd be better off just manually doing it. The thing is, having it built out in a spreadsheet or in your mind or in your closer's mind, it does a really good job for starting out because a lot of it is in your head and it's pretty intuitive to use. But something that's intuitive to you might not be something that's intuitive for an automation or a computer. I've watched people build every single shiny AI tool out there purely because they built no place to store their data. So here are the ones that I actually recommend. These are more generic CRMs. So depending on your industry, there may be better CRMs for the specific industry that you're working in. And the reason why I recommend these CRMs is because these are more modern CRMs that connect with AI and automations better. So first we have tools like Close, HubSpot, Attio, and Zoho. These are good CRMs that integrate well with automations. So here I'll show you a quick example of what we're looking at. Yeah, so we have the sales pipeline, and inside of the sales pipeline, you can see that we have different groups. We have canceled, no-show follow-up call, no-show auto call, discovery call booked, and there's many, many more down here. So these are the stages of pipeline that we're able to store these data. So pretty much because we have all of this data located in one spot, we're able to use other tools down below that I'll show you that can pull data from this to get some really cool results. So now once your data has a home, this is the tool that does the actual work. And you might see this throughout my other videos, but I truly believe that there are 3 pillars to building any type of automations or systems to automate your business. There is the infrastructure piece, which is what we were talking about, the CRM. There is the automations piece, which I'm about to speak over, and then the AI and agents piece. That is a bit deeper, and we cover that in some other videos. The reason why I still choose to build things on NAN instead of just going straight to something like Claude Code is that it already comes with a framework that allows us to know that it will run reliably, with proper error checking already baked in, as well as a cloud server that can run on already. That being said, when something breaks, and something always breaks, we're able to find the error and fix it faster simply because there's a framework with lots of documentation already put in place. We get a fundamental understanding over the automation, which allows us to build a more robust solution. Does this mean that we can do everything within NAN? No, that's what we'll talk about next. But instead of needing to dig through code or continuously prompting to try to fix a problem that I don't fully understand, I'm able to look at the exact module that had failed and fix that. Now, for something that's just a repetitive task, such as an automation, this is a perfect situation. Let's say I wanted to start a repetitive onboarding process whenever a client is signed. That task is going to be the exact same every single time, and we can still incorporate AI into that automation. But now at least we can have a visual understanding of what every step is going through. So let's take a look at an example of this. Here is an automation that we recently built for one of our clients. We have a Fathom sales transcript automation. So you can see here, I just want to note really quickly that these 2 modules right here, the search lead contacts and the create sales call activity, these are both pulling from the post API from Close. We're creating a post call to the Close API. The reason why this is important is because this connects to the very first thing that we were talking about. We needed a good infrastructure before we can even start talking about building automations. Imagine if we were trying to use the search leads query and all the leads were everywhere. Imagine we had a Google Sheets with 1,000 columns and half of those rows are all messed up. It's very difficult to parse through that information. In this case, Close has built-in search queries that allows us to query and find the leads that we're looking for very simply. Same for this idea of create sales call activity. Well, first of all, sales call activities just don't exist in the Sheets. This pretty much would have been impossible had we not been using a CRM. But since we got the whole infrastructure idea out of the way, what you could see as well is that we start off with a webhook. So this webhook is connected to a tool called Fathom. Fathom is a call transcript generator / recorder. So Fathom connects to any Zoom call or any web call that you have, and it will record the meeting, provide a summary, and then also have a transcript. So what we did is that we filtered out non-sales calls. So we're trying to connect the webhook with the search leads. So the person that was in the call from the Fathom, we're going to find that corresponding lead within Close. That way, we can put the Fathom information inside of the sales call activity. And the whole purpose of this, what's the outcome? The outcome of this entire automation is that we are able to get the call transcript inside of Close. That way, when you're just inside of your CRM, you can go through every single lead and find all the call details that you were looking for. By the way, if you're a business owner and you want to know exactly which of these tools can actually be implemented into your business, I do free AI automation audit calls where I help you find the exact bottlenecks within your business and where AI and automations and these systems can be implemented, meant to save you time and money. On average, we find around 10 hours plus per week that we can buy you back. So I'll leave that link in the description so you can check that out. Now let's keep going. NAN handles most of what we build, but there's always one tool that I always reach towards whenever we need something more complex. And that, you might have guessed it, is Claude Code. So I mainly reserve Claude Code for agents or building out things like dashboards. The way I think about automation is that it can take action. And if you check out some of my other content, you might notice that I describe AI automations in 5 different parts. We have 1, LLM API calls, 2, chatbots, 3, automations, 4, AI agents, and 5, multi-step agents. In this case, we're moving from step 3 to step 4, where we start generating these agents using tools like Claude Code. So for a tool like NAN, when we're just building out automations that are the same and repetitive every single time, we only want to stick with a level 3 automation because we get reliability and we have good error checking. If I built something from automations inside of Claude Code, it is very possible. In fact, it might be easier, but the difference is that I'd need to architect the error handling myself. I'd need to architect a self-annealing loop then to make sure that my agent continuously heals itself. And sometimes we don't want to try to over-engineer a problem that could be built simply that works every single time, especially when it's very simple. We want the right engineering solution to the right problem. But for things like agents or building out dashboards or websites, this is where Claude Code truly shines. In fact, inside of my own agency, we have a Claude Code agent that builds out NAN agents for us. And honestly, we're moving more and more towards using Claude Code for automations as we're getting better at templatizing that error handling and that more efficient checking. So for sure, this is the #1 tool that's going to be shaping the future. So let me show you an example. This entire thing was built out in Claude Code. You can see that we have a lot of information here from total calls, attended, show rate, qualified rate, and this full dashboard is pulling real information from, you guessed it, the CRM. So once again, I'm telling you, a lot of these different automations and agents and dashboards can only be built when we have a proper data store. Everything is impossible when the endpoints aren't built properly. So it's something like this. The way I like to explain it is if I have an automation, the automation is the bridge that you're trying to build between the canyon. Now, the most important part about building any automation is not the bridge. I could build this bridge out of stainless steel, metal, diamond, whatever material I want. And it could be the most sturdy bridge, but if the posts on the edges of the bridge are not stable, and this refers to the infrastructure, the whole automation will fail. So that's just like a quick understanding of why all of these pieces connect and why it's so important that the first tool for automation isn't even an automation tool. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Now, the last one is Claude Cowork. And the reason why I'm adding this, it's an inherently Anthropic's agentic tool, but it's built for non-developers. Claude Code is incredible, but let's be honest, most business owners watching this aren't gonna open up a terminal or VS Code or start generating files inside of a folder. And this is the exact gap that Claude Cowork fills. Or Anthropic themselves pretty much described it as Claude Code for the rest of your work. It's pretty much a desktop agent. You point it at your files, your folders, your tools, and you give it an outcome instead of a specific prompt. Then it goes and does the multi-step work itself and hands you back a finished deliverable. Now, here's how I draw the line between NAN and something like Cowork. NAN is for the repeatable tasks that need to happen on a timer, or when a certain thing happens, like a webhook. These are the things that need to run the exact same way every single time. Cowork is for the messy one-off automation work that isn't worth building a whole automation for. Think pulling a folder of sales transcripts into a clean summary, or synthesizing feedback that's across Slack, your CRM, and your emails, or maybe even turning a pile of receipts into an expense sheet. The reason why I care about it for clients so much is because it is really the first agentic tool they can use straight out of the box. On its own, it's incredibly powerful, but if you point it at the right data and connect it correctly within your desktop, it becomes an incredibly powerful tool. So I'll quickly show you an example of Cowork just by using one of their example tasks, Optimize My Week. You can see it kind of generates a prompt here already, like help me plan and optimize my week. I have a Google Calendar open and ready for review and edit. To review my calendar, show me a summary, right? And then before proposing changes, give me the top 3 to 5 changes with explanations. So I'm gonna have this run and I'll see you when it's done. So you can see that it kind of already started drafting out a lot of the information from my calendar. And you can see that it's asking like, what is my main priority? Let's say I wanted deep/product work and then a little bit of admin and planning. How much daily focus? Let's say a 1 3-hour block. Which meetings are fair game? Already the decline one sounds good. And then which personal boundary should I protect? Let's protect the gym. So just by that simple prompt that Cowork gave me, it was able to go into my calendar, check out all the blocks that I had set out, and then help me prep 3 to 4 hours a day based off my highest productivity possibilities. And just like that, you can see that it blocked out some more times for me. They'll show me all the times that I actually have available. So these are the tools that we use basically on every build. Cowork being the one that we give to clients whenever they just want some extra things without necessarily our help. But the exact mix is different for every single business because every business has just different bottlenecks. So if you want to figure out exactly what your business should be automating and which of these tools you actually need, click the first link in the description to book a free audit with me. On the call, I'll go through your full operation and show you all the places that we can add AI and automations to your business to save you time and money. Again, you can book your free audit call in the link below. And if you want to see these tools in action, watch me break 5 real workflows that I've built for clients next.